Read the-
Hereby call the June 5th regular meeting of the Economic Development Corporation of Lone Star, Texas to order at 6:02. At this time, if there's any public comments, we'll entertain those, please. If there are no public comments, we'll move forward. There's a couple of items that you will see that are missing in your packet. I met with Tina just a few minutes ago and was filling 3 positions with 1 person at City Hall. We just, for some odd reason, they didn't get in here. You do have additional item that you were given, which shows you our financial statement, the current amount of money that we have coming in, and what our balance is. I will tell you that I was encouraged to see that in the month of May, due to the new businesses that we have in town, our sales tax revenue, our portion of it has gone by $3,000. Went from $66,1948 in April to $91,13 in May. So that means you're gonna get about another $18,000 or $19,000 in the city budget, which is great. We need more businesses, and that's what we're working on. Some non-action updates. 3-1 updates for the renovations for the city park restrooms. The RFP was put in the paper last Thursday. I sent an email to all, I will in capital letters say all of the HEBs in this area, including the bakery. I received 2 back, 2 of them. One of them was RCC Excavations, and the other was from Evans Construction, expressing an interest to bid on those items. So I told them that the RFPs were on the website, and the detail has been put out there. We are going to have a non-mandatory meeting on June the 8th here in this room at 9 o'clock in the morning for questions concerning those issues. At this point in time, I do not foresee us having a quorum at that meeting. However, I will have Tina post it just in case we do that.
Same time, 6 o'clock?
9 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning.
Okay, I can't make that commitment for sure.
Okay, one of the other things I will tell you is that I have visited, there have been numerous plumbers who have been down and looked at the restrooms, and I can tell you that 2 of them that I talked to are way off base because for some odd reason they do not think that we have to bring our restroom down there into ADA compliance. And I've done research called TML, contacted the state of Texas, and yes, we do. Anytime there's a modification done, you must bring those into ADA compliance, which is gonna be more than putting a toilet in or a sink or running a snake through the pipes. The RFP state that, the details are out there on the website, and we'll go over that in our meeting Friday morning. Any questions? Okay. An update on the dredging of the swimming area located at the city park. The machine will be here Wednesday. Probably get started Thursday morning. I will tell you that we ran into an issue with the county providing us with a dump truck and an operator to help us for free with that, because they were concerned that there might be a citizen here in town who would question that and try to put us in legal jeopardy, which there wouldn't be any, but, so they backed out. Not to fear, we were gonna save $1,400, but now we have to spend that $1,400 for an operator and the dump truck. We expect the swimming area to be completely dredged out and clean by no later than Monday week. Update on repairs to the fishing pier of the dock and replacement ladders at city park swimming area. We met with those gentlemen twice, visited on the phone with them a couple of times. Sam Winkles and Mr. McGinnis are providing the wood and the materials, rest of the materials to do that. It will be Wednesday around 1 o'clock, so if anybody wants to come and help, you're more than welcome to come out and help with that project. We had discussed putting ladders down there, and thank you, Josie, she put together a drawing. We talked to A&E, Earl Alexander's business. They are going to formulate and manufacture the ladders to the city park swimming area for us at no cost. All we have to do is put them in there. So that was donated to us, and those ladders will be put in as soon as we get them, subsequent to completing the issue with things. Update you on the turfus conditioner. That contacted that company. It should be here no later than the end of next week, which is about when we will need it. So that is signed and ready to go, and it will be on its way within a week. Update on the light pole removal. For some odd reason, it got put out there that we were cutting down light poles and we were gonna get rid of them. No, we're not. They pulled all of them, but I think 3 straight out of the ground. We'll have to top them, because when they pulled them out of the ground, there was like one bolt holding 700 pounds worth of light fixtures on top of each one of them. I would have hated to see that. I discussed it with the mayor, and that could have been a huge liability issue for us if somebody was down there and one of those things fell off. So they pulled them out of the ground. They are right now stacked over on what used to be a small baseball field. They will be used for repurposing. Josie's had a couple of good ideas we're gonna discuss it probably at the next meeting. There are some issues that we need to take care of with that, but I think she's got some great ideas. So they have been removed. They are laying over there. There was no issues with getting them out of the ground. In fact, some of them, when they pulled them out, you could still, the creosote was still coming out of the bottom of them, and they were still in good shape. So, don't know, some of them around 50, 55 feet tall. I don't know how much we have to top off. I know that there was 3 or 4 of them that had huge wash nests on the top of them. So, we got those down and took care of that issue. So, right now, that's the update on everything that's going on. Anybody have any questions?
That dredging machine, did you say it's coming on Wednesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but dredging will start on Thursday?
That's my understanding, okay? And we are asking, I've talked to the mayor, and she's really in favor of closing the entire park down until we get this done. Because we don't need people down there messing around while we're doing it, especially with a dredging machine that big. And then they're fixing to start putting the posts in for the new fencing and the dugout materials, and there'll be some concrete work going on there, so it might be best for it to do that. She's not here tonight. She was gonna be here, but she's ill, so she and I have been in discussion about that. I will send out a notice and let everybody know, and we'll have the city post it, so. If
Are
that
there
does
any
happen-
fishing tournaments or anything
I don't
happening
know.
in the next weekend?
And I told her, my suggestion would be, if we're gonna do that, let's close it with the exception of the boats that are gonna be coming in for the fishing tournament.
So close, just
Yes.
our area,
Yes, ma'am,
baseball area.
that's correct. So, as I said, right now, we're still in discussions over that, but that's what, a couple of the aldermen are in favor of doing that, so, I don't know, we'll
Who's
see how
over-
that comes.
Who's
Yes,
over
sir.
that tournament?
I'm sorry?
Who's?
I don't know, I'm trying to find out now. So.
'Cause
I
that
think-
is something that's been happening every
Yes,
weekend.
I think the mayor can get us in contact with those people and let them know. I don't think they'll have a problem with it as long as they know. They don't give us an issue anyway. So,
We need to tell them because they're gonna be looking for a place to park.
sure. Yeah, well, one of the people on the council recommended, well, let's go to Jenkins before we're working on this. I said, no, we can
We need to
coordinate
keep
that
them.
off and make sure that, yeah, so I
And we
think
don't
that'd
wanna
be all
let
right.
them know last minute either,
Yeah,
like
no.
if,
No, we can't do that. The main thing I'm concerned about is from the restroom over, okay? Because I don't want somebody in there messing around, I don't want to take a chance on somebody get hurt. So that's the issue, and the mayor's in agreement with that, so we're trying to get that worked out.
they use the parking,
Yes,
all
ma'am, down there.
along
Yep,
there.
almost
And
all
they
the way
don't
up to the
They
volleyball
don't
court.
usually park
Yep,
in the trees,
I
down
agree
in the,
with you.
and
Yep.
they don't even park at the top. They
yep, I
park
don't
all
think that's
right
gonna
down
be
there
an
and
issue at
that's
all.
it.
Yep, I agree with you. So, I'll let you know as we follow up on that, we should make a decision on that between now and either next afternoon or early Wednesday morning.
Really.
Yes, sir.
We need, word of mouth. We don't need a lot of people down there gawking when we're trying to move a
Yeah.
piece of equipment.
Oh, I know. I know, and that's why I'm thinking about closing the park.
This right-hand turn we've got to make is gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
So we don't need a lot of traffic down in there.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about closing the park. Like I say, we'll make a decision on that by tomorrow afternoon, I'll let you know for sure. Not sure of a time when I'm not sure of a time when that piece of equipment will be here, I haven't talked to them, but I'm assuming, and I use
I
that
will
word.
call them tomorrow.
I'm guessing probably around 10 to 12. I've already talked to the police department, and they're gonna provide work.
They've got all of the equipment they had stacked around this, excavator.
Yes.
Moved.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're ready to load it.
Yep.
And I've spoken to the Commissioner of Tarrant County, and according to the Commissioner in Tarrant County, any construction site, no one is allowed in a construction site without proper equipment. I mean, they should have a hard hat,
Yeah.
and no one should be in that construction site.
Well, that's one reason for, discussion of closure of the park. so
Yeah,
we don't have to-
no one should be in a construction site except for the contractor.
Have we talked to the police department about
Yes, I've already talked to
blocking
them, and I
traffic?
will talk to them again tomorrow, because we have to have them to block the road off while we're on this piece.
And the police said that they couldn't, that it was, public property, but yes, that is erroneous. They can cite people, because it is a law that you are not to cross over a construction site.
Right.
And I have spoken to the Commissioner of Tarrant County.
Okay.
Are they gonna take that equipment in up by the church, like the church, or are they gonna try to make the first pull up?
I'm not sure how they're gonna do it yet. My suggestion with them was to take it down by the church, we just back it down the road as far as we can get it, then they don't have to try to make that 90-degree left-hand
What
turn.
about the height of, are we clear on lines and goals?
Yeah, we're double checking all that, and they're gonna, when they get here Wednesday morning, we'll reevaluate to make sure that we go the safest route possible. Okay,
So
in-
it should be all the way back completed by Monday, is that what you're saying?
well, what we're hoping is that the dredging will be completed no later than Monday, Tuesday at the very latest. We estimated 3 days. May go quicker, may not go quite that fast, but if it takes us less than 3 days, we'll be through Friday.
Who did
If
you
it-
get to haul what they dig out?
I'm Anthony from RCC, who's already down there working, and also Andy Smoke is supposed to meet me over there sometime tomorrow afternoon, so we can go over all the details and make sure we're all on the same page. Okay? They are both qualified operators, so there's not an issue with them operating that piece of equipment.
Rudy, I just wanna add one more thing
No, ma'am, that's
on the ladders.
Uh-huh.
I thought we should do the same thing that we did with, Lily Cass
Yes,
with
yeah,
writing
we'll
a
get
thank
to
you
that here in a
letter.
minute.
So I
Yeah.
have those written.
Okay.
If you guys wanna.
Okay, we'll cover that here in just a second. Any other discussion? What Josie's referring to is, Bowie Cast taking taking electrical lines in, didn't charge us anything. We've drafted a letter to them, a thank you letter for them. And we'll get everybody to look at that tonight, and we'll get that signed and get it in the mail to them. We've also, she's in the process of drafting a letter to A&E as far as thanking them for donating the ladders and doing the manufacturing work on those. So, we're on our way. Thank you. Okay. Action items, 4-1, review, discussion, and possible actions for a representative of the B newspaper to present and discuss options for EDC advertising. I think we've talked about this and beat the horse to death over the last couple of years that we do not have right now a good methodology for getting the word out for what we're doing. And to let people know what projects we're doing, what we're trying to do with the businesses here in town, in general about the area, trying to attract businesses in. We just don't have that avenue right now. Tony came to visit with us at the Senior Citizens Association about a month ago, maybe not quite that long, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
About that.
My brain's.
Yeah, about 3 or 4
But anyway,
weeks ago.
they have a presentation, and so I asked them tonight to come and discuss that with us, just so we could do an evaluation and see if maybe it's something we wanted to do. So I'm gonna turn the floor over to y'all, and, you have to reintroduce because my deal with the names are
Oh, no,
crazy.
you're fine.
But, I wanna make sure that we capture everything, and I'll just turn it over to y'all, and then when we get through, they can ask questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. I'm Tony. I think most of you know me. This is Kevin. He's with the company that runs our newspaper, and he is our advertising guru, I guess, for lack of a better term. But every year we open up a special program called our VIP program for our advertisers. And this year we have included a lot more digital opportunities, and several different ways that we can help businesses and EDCs and nonprofits and just anybody really. So I'm gonna let Kevin do the talking because he's better at this than I am, so.
I'm Kevin James, like she said, and I work with the company that helps them run the Bee and some of our sister papers. We have sister papers around, and it's good to be back up in this area. I'm originally from East Texas. I live in the Austin area. Don't hold that against me. I do have a connection to Lone Star. My band director came from here. I'm originally from Greenville. So if any of y'all knew Bill Goodson at all, Bill Goodson was my band director, and Kenny Goodson is a good friend, and so and all my people are from Kilgore, Henderson, Tyler, Longview, so I get to let my accent out when I come back up here. So thank you for that. So basically, what Tony was sharing with you and what we kind of shared with Rudy and with Allison the other day was there's several options that we're doing. One thing is called VIP, and it's basically a program that it's based on the premise of consistency of message over time. You know, one ad here or there, one marketing message here and there. You know, it's shooting blanks in the dark. You know, that's good on occasion, but to have a good consistent campaign of letting people know, educating about your organization, what you're doing, but also and the cool thing about VIP is it's great internally and externally. So by internally, I mean we've had EDCs and chambers and other organizations that are similar in some of our other papers and similar markets do this type of program because internally it helps show your market and your citizens. It helps them say, hey, this is what your EDC is doing for you. And they'll have ads and things like that show businesses that are coming or things that you're working on or projects you're working on. And it's a great way to let the citizens know, hey, this is a good, we're being good stewards of what we have, and here's what we're doing for you in the city and the community. But it's also great because when you run ads with our paper, a lot of people don't realize that those ads get digitized, and Google and the search engines love community newspaper websites because they trust us, they trust our news, we're not fake news. And so, and if you look, all the news that they get from websites are good, reputable news sites like ours, like local community newspapers. So we have a high Google score and an integrity with them. And so what happens is when an advertiser runs a print ad with us, that ad gets converted to text on our back end and becomes part of our searchable content. And we have high Google scores because of because of who we are and what we do. So when you run an ad promoting your EDC, promoting a new business you just recruited or anything like that, you're getting some search engine optimization benefit out of it, which is kind of cool because so if someone's looking or whatever, doing a search, then it could pop up in a search because of the paper. So if you're not doing any kind of digital marketing, it's a great way to kind of get some exposure that way. And another great thing about that the print too is when someone, our website is when a business or an individual is looking to relocate to a community, one of the three top websites they look at are the city, the school district, and the local newspaper. Because the local newspaper website kind of really gives an accurate viewpoint, like the fishbowl, right? And so the program with VIP is great because with it, there is a consistency of ads every week that you get, depending upon, and the size, it's a good size ad, depending on what investment level you would want to do. And we always try to be good stewards of that money and make sure that we're providing the best services for you and helping you with that. So some other EDCs that have done this and have really promoted local businesses that they've recruited in the community, in the ads and in the marketing messages. So the local businesses love it because it shows that, hey, we have our organization's behind us. It also shows like the project, that you're doing, like with the dredging and stuff. You could even do a little marketing message about that, saying, hey, your EDC is working for you. We're making sure this is safe and that, our restrooms are available for all of our citizens and things like that. So there's a great way to utilize the paper, but there's lots of digital benefits from it that's really kind of worldwide in a way. So I like to view the print and the newspaper as like a footprint. It gives a good footprint, but then it also has that digital benefit of kind of wings, where you're getting a lot more extra exposure. And so part of the program is you get a print ad every week, and you get the optimization from that, and where you get some really cool benefits. But also you get a website banner. You get a banner on the websites, not just here, but in Mount Pleasant as well, and in Pittsburgh, just because it circles it encompasses the area. So you're getting a lot of extra cool digital benefit and some exposure that way. Some other things that we're doing, and we're getting some other EDCs involved with, that we kind of have as part of this program that's optional, or we can customize whatever, are some great ways to recruit businesses to your community or to promote your community. Some of it is through tourism or events. If you're hosting events and things, we have great ways to promote that digitally in the way of like geo-fencing and geo-targeting. We have one EDC that's gonna be converting their annual campaign to us, and we're gonna be doing something called persona marketing, which is basically a fancy way of just saying we're gonna target digitally we're gonna target commercial realtors and those who are doing industrial things and development things and those like that. People we know that would be interested in the kind of market that we have. Because that's kind of creepy that we can do that now, but from a personal standpoint, it's kind of creepy, but from a marketing standpoint, it's fun. It's kind of cool. You know, so there's all kinds of really cool digital things we can do. An example of the geofencing would be what they're doing, what the one EDC is going to do is they know that there is a certain geographic area within 150-mile proximity of them that has a high propensity of small businesses and small industry that is looking to relocate for, you know, a good place that has a good school and but wants lower cost of living and all that. And so they're going to be doing like some geo-targeting where we can like just kind of basically target that area with digital ads on people's mobile phones and on their multiple platforms and things like that. So they'll see them on all kinds of different things saying, hey, come to our city for, if you're looking to relocate your business, give us a look, you know, give us a call, that kind of thing. And then tourism wise, if you're ever hosting a special event or, you know, some kind of festival or something, we've done some things down in Ingleside where the latest thing we did for them was they had a concert festival, and we did some geofencing for that where we geofenced other little festivals surrounding them beforehand, because we know that if someone goes to one festival and like for a vacation or a staycation, then they're interested in going to others within the area if it's within a certain drive time. And so we targeted that radius and who we knew, small towns and those festivals, and targeted those people. Hey, be sure and come down to this, you know, to our festival when we have it next month, you know. And then when they're there, we can target them to come back, you know, and it hits their phones, and I mean, this is a multiple platform thing, and so it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of creepy from a personal standpoint, but it's kind of great from a marketing standpoint. So we just kind of wanted to share with you about the plan. About VIP is a great way for a print and a digital plan, because it helps you educate the local community as to what you do, because sometimes people don't know what an EDC does. And so it's a great way to say, hey, here's what we're doing for you. Here is your dollars at work. And also, you're also investing with a local business like yourself, with us. And so we want to make sure that we are a good partner and we're a good steward of what we're doing for you. And so, that's a great way to educate the businesses and the communities. It's also a great way to promote local business. And it's also a great way to promote yourselves to businesses from out of town, because they do look at community newspapers and they do look at community newspaper websites. They like to see what's the lifestyle like, you know. One thing that I remember when I was doing similar work was people from other industries and towns and individuals looking to relocate, they like to read the obituaries, and they like to, when they visit a town, they like to visit the cemetery. And I was kind of puzzled by that. I said, why do y'all like to visit a cemetery if you're looking to relocate here? They said, because we want to see the shape of the cemetery. If it's overgrown and it shows that there's no respect for people that have been there before. It just says a lot about a community, and I hadn't thought about that. And so being in a newspaper really, you know, shows a great way, and they look at that and they look at all the different things that you can promote yourselves with. with. So, the investment for that portion is very, you know, minimal. We should get a good return on your investment in different ways, however. And so there's different things we can do for you as well. And so we just wanted to share with you that we can get you more information, however the process or the protocol is for, you know, presenting a proposal or whatever. But we just wanted, you know, to share that, hey, we are here for you. We have some services that are very inexpensive, not near what, you know, you would think that you would pay in other big cities. The VIP plan is a great way to start and begin, and a great way for exposure, and just lots of different options and things that we can put together. Depending on what your needs, if we can find out, you know, like, hey, what are some things that are going on or whatever, we can put together a customized plan for you to consider and look at without any obligation. So anyway, that's kind of what we're here for tonight, just letting you know there's some great ways that you can promote yourselves internally into your community and externally for recruitment purposes. So.
Any questions? Have any questions?
Do you have, a standard price sheet
We do, and we can leave that with you.
you can leave out with us?
And I even have a slide presentation, like you know, I can send that as well, like a PowerPoint that has different, that talks about the different features and benefits and all that kind of stuff. So I'd be happy to send that if that's something that would be a benefit.
Can you tell me currently what your number of subscribers is as far as paper versus media? I mean, electronic media, or do you keep up with those statistics?
We do, print-wise, it's,
I believe print is right around 1,000.
so that's 1,000 issues, but that's
Yeah.
around 2,700 readership. According to the Texas Press Association, there's 2.7 pass-along readers per paper, which is a higher average than the national average, which is 2.3. So people in Texas love their local community papers. So you're looking at close to 3,000. From what I remember from the last time of the website itself, we were looking at probably 250,000 page views a year and probably about 90 to 100,000 unique visitors to the website.
Okay.
And then more considering like whenever we tether with our sister papers like in Mount Pleasant and we have lots of web presence there and readership. And then on the digital marketing, like say for instance, if you ever do something like you wanted to do, like, hey, I want to target, you know, Longview and Tyler in these areas because we know there's some small businesses that may relocate. So, you know, those are impression based and you can, you know, get those on however many impressions you want to buy. And, you know, there's just a minimum of, but it's very minimal, you know, when it comes to investment.
And we print that many papers, but we also have a digital copy that goes out to all of the subscribers as well. And we have some that get just the digital instead of this copy. But in the paper, anytime a website is mentioned, whether it's in an ad, in a story, or whatever, that digital copy hyperlinks to the website that's mentioned, or a Facebook page, or whatever. So there's ads in this paper that has a website in it. I can go into the digital copy and just hover over it, click on that ad, or click on that website, and it'll take me to their contact us page. And that's some things that can be done with the EDC as well, you know, if there's a Facebook page or a website or whatever, you know, it can link back to that, and it just makes this more alive.
And something too that we're doing with the print is we're really seeing an increased use of QR codes because it really can expand your information. Because in an ad, it kind of levels the playing field between large advertisers and small ones. Because if you put a QR code in there, you can link it. Someone can scan it and link to a website or to your Facebook page or whatever you want. And so those are kind of becoming popular, especially, I mean, we've seen a resurgence of those. They went away for a while, and then COVID came and we had to do something. And so they're pretty much here to stay. And so a lot of advertisers and marketers are seeing a lot of benefit with that. So the paper it's still your beloved, you know, weekly paper that people love. And as a matter of fact, the fastest growing demographic of people coming back to papers are millennials because they want to break from technology. They like the sensory and they like the smell and all that. You know, it's So this is not going anywhere, but the cool thing is we have wings now. You know, we have, this is a good footprint, and we have wings and lots of great ways to fly, I guess I would say so.
Keith,
Do you know how many, daily, times your app was open?
Okay, we don't have an app, you mean our website?
I assumed your app because you were geofencing and you said it was the phone.
Okay, no, that's not our app. That would be us customizing a special plan just for the EDC, a campaign that is
Okay.
exclusively theirs. So say for instance, we could do 100,000 impressions is what you would buy, and it's by the impression. And by an impression, and it's like basically someone would see an ad. So an ad impression, you'd buy 100,000 impressions, and we could target those in certain ways. So you could say, I wanna reach, 50,000 impressions in Tyler, or whatever, and you could hit that area with that many impressions. And we would add filters too. There would be like, people that are interested in industrial and development and commercial real estate and realtors. Those are the kinds of, these aren't just going point blank to everybody. There are like things that are on there to kind of help direct those to the right types of people who would be interested. So those kind of ads are basically, impression based. So we would know, and we could tell you, and that's not necessarily 100,000 people. That could be 100,000 impressions, but we can give you analytics and a dashboard that says our ad was seen 100,000 times by 30,000 people, and they, and had this much click-throughs and that kind of thing, and interactions and stuff like that. So, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
On your paper copies, when you said 1,000 issues, is that including like where you have issues printed for sale at Ace and printed for sale at
Yes.
Berkshire's?
Yes, that's
So,
not just subscribers.
Subscribers,
That's
that's
how many
total.
we have printed
Total printed
every
copies.
week that I
Right.
either go to a mailbox
Mhm.
or a post office box, or they're sitting in a rack waiting to be picked up.
Okay, I was just checking.
about how many people do you have that have both the digital and the paper?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to check with probably my bookkeeper for that
And
information.
anytime too.
Yeah, I'd have to check with a couple of different people to find out for sure on that, but I can get that to you.
Everyone who subscribes has the opportunity to get the digital edition at no extra charge.
Okay.
So there is a bit, so to be honest with you, some of it is a little slower. Some folks are, I don't wanna say slower, they're not as,
Happy.
yeah, there's 100% capability, and so we've been striving to let people know, hey, this is an option too. And some people love it because they get it in their email inbox before the papers hit the street. So if you're traveling or something, you can click on it and you can read the paper, and it even makes that little swoosh sound,
When you
you
change
turn the
the page.
pages. And so, but a lot of people like it, but we can get the numbers for you on that. There is 100% capability of those who subscribe to have that as well. Hopefully, I think it's, I don't know why. We can get you the number.
Let me ask you this, do you have, any other small town EDCs that have already subscribed to this?
Yes, sir. Queen City at one time did this a few years back. They did it for like 2 to 3 years back to back. And they did really well with it. They really, they promoted local, like we were talking about, local businesses. And like, hey, here's a local business. It just kind of like a paper thing, but they would spotlight some different businesses that were new to town that had been recruited. Or, hey, here's what we're doing for you, and here's just, just some things. It was just a good PR type of situation to help, because a lot of folks don't realize what all an EDC does. They just think, oh, well, what are they doing with the money, or what are they doing with whatever.
Sure.
And this is just a great way to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and we're being good stewards. And so, the Queen City, we've had chambers do some of the similar things, and we have another EDC that is, it's really small, but they have a really, the lady that's running, that they've hired to do their marketing and their director, she came from she's phenomenal, and she has all this digital strategy, and she's switching all of her stuff over to us for the next year, just because she saw the capabilities and what we could do to help recruit, and kinda like what I was talking about, commercial realtors, targeting commercial real estate, small business owners, those kinds of folks, knowing that, hey, this is here, and even tourism, you know, I mean, I know we one time mentioned like the water park in the lake and things like that. And like if someone were to, say for instance, you could even do geofence Lone Star, and if someone were driving through town, you know, you could say, hey, be sure and visit Main Street, or be sure and visit, you know, different places, you know, be sure and shop such and such, or, you know, there's all kinds of neat things you could do, even just by geofencing the town and people driving through it with their phone. And then it chases them after they leave. So if you have a festival coming up in a few months, it'd be like, hey, you know, be sure and come back for our festival in October, or whatever, that kind of thing. So all kinds of neat things you could do. Yes, ma'am.
When you send that over, would you also include like how many subscriptions we have within our community Golden
Sure.
Star?
I bet we can get that for you.
Because how many do you deliver here, physical newspapers, just to see?
I can get that for you from my bookkeeper, I'm sure, and I'll also include how many physical copies I leave at my different stops here, because
Okay.
I deliver them,
Like
so
it's
I know
free.
exactly how many are delivered to Arnold's, to the gas station on the hill, to the new gas station down at the corner. So I can
Perfect, honey,
let
thank
you know
you.
that.
And I can even look at the web stats, and we can see what, or who's reading it from here. So like, we can get the, you know, the web numbers for Lone Star as well, that would be good.
Any other questions? Comments? Appreciate y'all coming.
Oh,
If
my
you would
pleasure.
send me that information, and then you can get me whatever you need to do on the pricing structure, and we'll probably, next month, we'll talk about it again. And then, you know, whatever they decide to do, however you got, we'll go from there, okay? Appreciate you very
Hey,
much.
it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You're free to go, you're released.
Thank you.
Release the whom.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for letting me let my accent out.
All right.
It's kind of fun sometimes.
If we didn't
isn't it?
understand it, we didn't understand it, we wouldn't let you do it.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you, sir, you too.
Okay, I usually have to ask you.
Okay, any discussion?
Sounds like something to be interested in, because so many people
It's,
don't have a clue what we're doing
yeah,
and are negative about what we're doing.
yeah, we need to positive thoughts.
I don't know, I kinda have some mixed feelings about it, in that I don't feel like a nonprofit should be serviced a little bit by the newspaper. You know, if we're doing something cool at the park,
Well, one thing you need to understand too, and I'm not disagreeing, I'm saying.
yeah, I'm just
As an example, we put
battling.
that ad into the RFPs for the stuff at the park,
Mhm.
I'll be willing to bet you it's gonna cost you $250 for that ad. I visited with them and asked them, what if we just wanted to put an ad in and say, hey, you know,
All the time.
minimum ad, they'll be with $90. So the cost of an ad is going up and up and up, and to have access to that kind of stuff, and I don't even know, I mean, they mentioned some pricing to me before, but I told them I couldn't do anything, didn't even want to talk about it until they sent me a full structure, so I couldn't tell you what it would be, but
Yeah.
it's worth discussing.
It's definitely worth discussing.
Okay.
Some of the things that they can do to bring people in sound good. I just question, like, I think as a newspaper, part of their reporting the news would be reporting something like, oh, look at Lone Star City Park, it's been refurbished, got new ladders, they got new piers, and, you know, this is what's happening in our community. But I understand the RFP things and all of that.
Well, plus my thought process was too, just looking at from the outside in, saying, what if we wanted to target a business every week, or every 2 weeks? Say we wanted to target Zesters, say we wanted to target Big Ben's, say we wanted to target the hotel that's fixing to open up, say we wanted to target the mobile, whatever it is we wanted to target, we could do that in the paper, and it's already included in all that, and then we ought to get that. So that was just another thing I was thinking about, so, but we'll discuss it when they get the information to us.
And it would have to be very adequate,
Yes,
because we can't just talk about
That's
new
exactly
business.
right.
We
That's
gotta
right.
talk about,
yep.
you gotta
I
include
agree.
people that have had the phone for
There's a
20
lot-
years and
there's
we're
a lot
still
of
right.
businesses,
Yeah,
yep.
so,
Okay.
Those are just things to think about, there's a lot to think about.
So do we want to table this till we get the price structure in?
Yes.
Okay, then I need a motion in a second, then we'll vote, please.
I make a motion we table this till we get, more information.
Okay, I have a motion to table till we get more information.
I second it.
I have a second from Ally. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we'll bring maybe July meeting, okay. Okay, in your packet, you will see that 4-2, review, discussion, and possible actions to consider for approval of VIP applications submitted by Lone Star Loop. I don't know if how many of you actually know who Lone Star Loop is. They're right across the street here from the Mexican food restaurant. Okay. Kevin Allen is the owner there. They're wanting to upgrade their sign out front. Okay. You will see in here his application. You will see his mortgage holder certificate. You will see a picture of his current signage as it is right now. And you will also see, behind that is what the new sign will look like. Okay? So you have a picture of the current sign, you have a picture of the new sign. Okay? He is going to use, another thing that I think is good, he is going to use huckleberries to design his sign and put it up. So we're talking local business supporting local business. He's not sure of exactly what the cost is on that sign. He's asking for the full 2,000. I told him when we got an accurate, he said, oh, well, I'll take that back. He's asking for 2,000, but he says estimated total project cost to complete all the work is $2,250. So I don't know if the 2,000 is for the sign and the $2,250 is for the installation, or if it's all a combined amount. Okay. I did explain to him that the maximum reimbursement was 50% of his expenditure up to a maximum of $2,000. And he said as soon as he got an invoice or an estimate for that, he would get that to me so we could get that approved. But my deal would be I would ask you to tentatively approve up to that amount, not to exceed that. And if it's less than that, then we would go ahead and cover that cost for him because he wanted to get it done. So I entertain any discussion y'all have at this time on that. And I will tell you, I visited with Mr. Allen 2 or 3 times. They are really encouraged about what's going on, and they're wanting to see more and more happening, so. And they do a lot of business over there, so.
I would just wanna make sure that, it stays at 50%, you're saying that?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Our
50%.
agreement is that we do 50% up to $3,000.
Up to 4,000. So
Up
if
to
it's,
4,000.
if they spend 4,000 and give us a receipt,
give them
receipt for that,
2,000.
we cut them a check for 50% of that, maximum. Okay? So if they spend 3,500, cut them a check for 1,750, same thing. Then they're still allowed to use that buffer up to 4,000 that they spend, or 2,000 for the next 18 months.
Okay.
Okay?
So if he only spends $2,250, then we only
11.25.
reimburse $11.25.
That's correct, yes, ma'am.
And 2.5 cents.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Discussion?
They've been around here a long time.
Every time I talk to them, I'm more and more encouraged.
I spent a lot of money with them over the years.
What do we need a motion to?
Yeah, we need a motion to approve up to the maximum of $2,000. If it's less than that, then we won't pay them that.
I'll make a motion to do it.
Okay?
Second.
Okay, so I have Terry making a motion for a reimbursement up to 2,000 once we get the invoice for their having it installed. And Mitch has a second. All in favor? Opposed?
I don't know how I voted for it. What did I?
We,
The
go ahead.
Loop VIP program for the Loop.
Oh,
place.
okay, yes.
We'll present that to council, get the final approval on that. Okay, 4-3, review, discussion, and possible action to consider a VIP application for Zephyrs. I don't know how many people have gone down to Zephyrs.
Okay.
Zephyrs is a good thing.
Probably everybody.
Mr. Luca and his family have done a really good job down there. I'm encouraged every time I go in there.
Mhm.
I'm all the time teasing them about the fact that they don't get any sleep, and they said that's a good thing, so they're doing well. I think at some point in time, you may be entertaining the fact of hiring some more people to help them out, because they're starting to really get busy down there. But what he has asked for, is reimbursement. He wants to do some advertising. He's got the little sign out front. He's been having issues with that and having to pour some money into that. What he wanted to do was, and you'll see back here, right, you'll see his application and his, proposal as far as insurance and, you know, the ownership, you'll see all that in here. And you have a proposal from Stark Outdoor Advertising for advertising $3,186 plus $595 in a production fee. I visited with him, he had this information, I told him to get it to me for the last meeting, and he got it to me like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I didn't have it all, I couldn't get it ready for our last meeting. Subsequent to that, you'll see the next picture, he went ahead and bit the bullet and had the advertising put up, hoping we would approve it. It is on the sign right by Dennis Nick's place.
I saw that.
It's the big sign.
Mhm.
I told him that,
Right next to Dennis Nix's place.
yeah, where the portable
It
buildings are,
says, slow
that big
down
huge
for
billboard
a
that's there.
drink or something like that, slow
Yeah.
down.
It's that big huge billboard right there.
Dennis Nix's place at
Where we went the other day, this is,
Right there, Jenkins.
yeah, right there at the
Jenkins.
cutoff.
Sheds.
For the sheds.
Alright.
So anyway, I told him I would present this application to you. I realize that billboard is not inside the city limits, but I will guarantee you it will attract a lot of attention, and it's not that far away from his business. Within 2 or 3 miles of the city limits, and it's a big building, I don't know if you see it.
It's a
So anyway,
billboard. It's a
I told
billboard.
him I would present this application to y'all. He's another one who's very encouraged about what we're doing at EDC and wanting us to help expand all the business we can here, because he knows that we have more traffic here to help him, so. Questions, comments?
Is he still gonna pursue dropping that speed limit right there?
The only way we can do that is by getting with the state and having to do a traffic survey. I don't know what that'll cost. I'm waiting on them to get back to me now on that.
What is, okay.
He's proposing, he's wanting to drop the speed limit right through there because it's 50.
Mhm.
And he thinks people going 50 miles an hour coming into town, the way his business is located, they don't have time to see it and slow down enough to get into the parking lot. That's one reason he wanted to put the billboard there, to kind of give them an advance notice.
I don't remember what you told me, what's he wanting to drop the speed limit to?
40. Because it's 50 right through there. Told him I didn't have a clue, that wasn't up to me, that would be up to the state.
Well, it's 40 through town, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I looking at the right, this work specified at 3540?
Yes, it's the
Is
30.
that
if
how
you-
much his total was?
If you look back here on the Stark Outdoor Advertising, this form right here,
Mhm.
you will see it's 3186 plus the $595 production fee. It's down at the bottom, Josie, down here at the bottom. You'll see above the signature.
On the pink
Oh, I
page?
see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I see it.
Right above the signatures, it talks about monthly lease $295, invoices $3186 plus a $595 production fee. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he just leased it for 1 month?
No, that's for the year.
Okay. Right here.
Because I got a big page.
It's right after that.
Yeah, so that's $37.91 total.
And after that.
That-
Yeah.
is that what I'm
Yours
looking
is
at?
not as pink, yeah.
Alright.
It's $37.91 total, so half of that would be what, $18.45 probably, something like that. I'm thinking off the top of my head. So, anyway. Questions, comments?
I'll make a motion that we approve his application.
I second it.
Okay, have a motion from Josie and a second from Ally. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'll let them know, both of them know, we will carry that to council. trash forward. This goes along with what we've just been talking about. What I would like to do is for us to discuss and maybe, propose this to council. Right now, we submit 50% up to a maximum of $2,000 over an 18-month period of time. I would just like to see us bump that up. So if they spend a maximum of $6,000, we're still at 50%, but that bumps up our portion to 3%. And the reason I say that is because everything keeps going up. If they have an expenditure like this sign, then they can't use it for another 18 months. I'm thinking we need to give them a little bit of leeway because there might be other stuff they need to have done. They might need a couple of windows replaced. I know Fernando has expressed to me the fact he would like to get something done with his parking area because of all the dust and stuff like that. Not that we have the money to help him do that, but it might give him something to get started with. So I would like to see us have some discussion about the fact that going from a $2,000 reimbursement on a $4,000 expense up to a $3,000 maximum for a $6,000 expense. The same 50%, I just think it gives them a little more leeway and will enable some more businesses maybe to use more of the service that we offer. It's a statewide program, doesn't have to go through another 60-day waiting period. A lot of cities do it. It's called visual improvement. So,
How many of these have we approved?
right now, well, and that's the problem is during COVID and right after COVID, people were kind of leery to use that money. Now we're starting to get businesses saying, oh, yeah, we can do it now because we can free up some money to do things with.
But
So
we
we have it
approved-
set in the budget for a maximum of $20,000 for this year, and we haven't used any of it yet. We're fixing to, but we haven't yet.
Didn't we give money to Spoons?
Yes, we did. Not much, but we gave some.
But that wasn't this year.
Huh?
It was last year.
This year.
No, that was last year.
So we haven't done anybody this year.
No. We took $20,000 allocated in the budget for that.
Didn't we give to, Big Ben's for the parking lot?
No, we haven't given them anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
So we haven't given anybody.
they-
anything.
They
What?
presented to us, right?
Well, they talked about it, but they've been holding off because they've had so many things they're wanting to do, and they can't pick what they wanna do because there's so much confusion. So, anyway, that's kind of where we're at right
So
now.
actually, Spoons is the only one we've done.
Yes, that's correct.
What about that company we helped with fencing?
No, that's true, we did, yeah, I thank you for reminding me that the fence up here at the little storage area besides the lube place, that's a different business entirely. We did allocate $2,000 to help them put up new security fencing. I believe that was last year, I have it in the computer, but it was last year.
Mhm.
So those are the only two that we've done to this point in time. We've offered, but we haven't had anybody else take us up on it yet. I think that's fixing to check.
I think it probably will, as, you know, as these guys are like, oh, yeah,
Yes.
EDC helped us do
Yep.
this, so I would rather stay conservative on that.
I
And then
agree.
as we fill our budget, like we say, geez, we spent our 20,000.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I just put it out there, food for thought.
Yeah, I
Because I know it
agree with you.
restricts each business to a maximum of $2,000, which is okay. Will you stay with that till it picks up?
And they seem to be actually asking for less than that $2,000 on their
I think they're
initial
afraid to go
ones.
over the 4,000 amount beyond.
Probably, but,
I agree.
I just, I
So
would
that's not-
think
I mean,
until we get more,
If that's what you wanna do, that's what we'll do. I don't have a problem with that.
that's just me.
Mitch, what's your thought?
Our track record is not very good.
But,
I mean,
We gotta
we
remem-
gave Spoons money, and what about the fence up here?
yeah, the security fence they put around.
Are they still in business?
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason,
We're running.
Spoon's deal, according to everything I've talked about, wasn't his fault.
no, he only went out of business because Sadar went up.
The
on his-
landlord is the one who
landlord went up on his.
caused that.
Yeah.
That wasn't his fault. But that's immaterial.
When is everybody gonna learn that they can't deal with
I
Sonoma?
don't know, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that part of it.
Yeah,
So,
that's the only reason he don't.
what's your recommendation? You wanna leave it at 2?
Yes, I make a recommendation, we leave it as is.
Okay, have a motion, have a second? What do you think, Terry?
Maybe 2, that'd be fine.
Okay, have a motion, you want a second?
I can't.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Okay, say 2,000, good.
Yeah, that's the only reason we are Spoons. He was up at the Huckleberries for that
Okay.
And that's the only reason he does business.
4-5. Review, discussion, and possible actions to consider requesting RFPs for lights at the city ballpark. The reason I put this on there, we really didn't intend on even approaching this issue for a while, but one of our aldermen put out there, hang on just a second. They talked about cutting down the light poles, which that's wrong information. They claim they are going to have this top-rate facility but no lights. Okay, so if you're telling us we need lights, we'll try to get lights. Okay, so my suggestion is, one of your aldermen suggested this, so
Bring it up.
my deal is, we look at the cost of lights, see what it's gonna cost for you to put up, and go from there.
I've got a LED electric in Mount Pleasant will give us a call next week and send a crew down here to evaluate what it's gonna cost.
Okay.
That's the first, I need two more.
Well, yeah, but it's, I think it would be expensive enough, we have to do an RFP for it, but we can just right now get information, so.
We don't have the money to spend.
Mitch, I didn't say we did. Did I say we had the money to spend? I'm just telling you, it was brought up, I'm gonna address it.
I
Okay.
will not vote for spending money on lights at this point.
I will not either, but it's got to be addressed.
Okay.
So I make a motion, we table this.
Okay. Have a motion we table, second?
Tabling it doesn't,
Wait.
table it doesn't do any good. I mean,
We don't have the money.
It does if you're gonna get information on it,
Wait, can you still get information if you table it?
you can. We get an informal information packet from anybody you want.
Just say,
It's
hey,
not a
what are-
formal
what
bid,
are you-
yeah.
Look,
What are you
look.
looking at?
let me make this comment. When we get ready to put lights on these two fields, we don't have money to do
I
this.
know.
We need to go after a grant for the lights.
Good luck on that.
It's out there.
I know they're out there, you don't have to tell me they're out there, but we have people who fight and that's going out to get grants, so. Okay, so you wanna just drop this off for right now and we'll bring it back up later? It's up to you, I'm just telling you, I'm just addressing it because it was brought up.
I'm not gonna vote to table. But I don't think we,
Okay, so what is your motion? To drop
I'm
it off
not
the list
making
for
a
right?
motion on it. I'm
You're not
saying
making a
I'm-
motion to
I'm
drop it
gonna
off the
vote
list?
No.
Well, so what are you gonna do with it then? I mean,
No action? Know what you wanna do, Nick? Just say it. Doesn't hurt my feelings.
No
say it.
action.
Okay. Anybody else feel that way? Have a motion for no action. Second?
I'll second.
Okay, there's a second, all in favor? Okay, no action right now, we'll bring it up later.
And if the city council.
It has
wants to
been
spend
addressed.
mon- If the city
Okay.
council wants to spend money for lights, let them go after it.
Okay, 4-6.
Is that a unanimous or no action?
I'm sorry,
No.
go ahead.
Was that unanimous?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. 4-6, review, discussion, and possible actions on obtaining solar security cameras for the city park. We have brought this issue up before.
mm-hmm.
At least twice.
Okay, here's been our problem in the past, internet access,
Mm-hmm.
okay? In visiting with several individuals and companies, our police force uses a Verizon box to get access to the internet. Old box about this big, okay? All they do is plug it in, it's chargeable, they can take it wherever they want, gives them internet access. I've
It's a
talked-
hotspot?
Talked to Verizon about it, they're supposed to be sending me some information on it, so there is a possibility we can get a hotspot for the park. Okay, we just have to figure out where we're gonna put it. We have an idea, but I don't wanna say for sure till we get everything done. But there is that possibility. If we do that, we will be able to have security camera down there, and we can have the solar ones that will recharge, so we don't have to replace the battery in them every 2 months or whatever.
Did we not this was
Felipe's
Felipe's
that's correct.
recommendation.
About
And he brought-
$7,000.
He brought a gentleman in here from Dallas.
That's
that
correct.
Gave us a presentation.
About $7,000 on cameras. is
And
what
we
they-
ran into a problem of the equipment had to do with air conditioning. Am I wrong on that?
That was the
That was
IT
the,
equipment.
that was the internet stuff. The
Is
internet.
that the Verizon box, the
Yeah.
hotspot box?
No, well, not the hotspot box, but they wanted to bring internet in and put it, actually physically put it down there.
Okay.
When you got an internet box to put in there, it has to be temperature controlled or,
cool.
yeah,
Are
so.
you talking about the MiFi like the?
Yes. Uh-huh. My understanding is, right now from talking to Verizon, those run about $50 a month is all they run, which is a lot cheaper than getting internet run, have to pay for internet every
Is
month.
it unlimited?
Ma'am,
Is it unlimited?
that's one of the things I'm finding out from them. It's supposed to be
Most of your
sitting-
MiFi is
Yeah.
unlimited.
So, anyway,
I make a motion, we table 4-6 until we have more information about what we need to do and what the potential cost is.
okay. Have a motion, table, second?
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Okay, 4-7. Review, discussion, and possible actions to consider for approval the volunteer service application for Mr. Roger Lewis as a potential EDC member.
Now, he owns,
He's the one that owns Huckleberry's down here,
Mm.
okay? He and his wife. Okay? He is very interested in what we're trying to do and how things are growing in this town.
the guy that owns Big E's, his first
Big
name is
Ben's?
Zach, Big Ben's, his
Yeah.
name is Zach.
Yes, and her name is Amy. Okay? This
Wait,
bill-
who's Roger?
He's Roger Lewis, he owns Huckleberry's.
Huckleberry's.
The detail shop and the rack place down here?
No, what did you just say?
No, he was asking who owns Big Ben's.
Okay.
Zach,
Alright.
Zach is the man that owns Big Ben's and
Okay.
Amy is his partner,
Okay,
okay? They both have full-time jobs, plus they work there.
and Roger is Huckface.
That's correct.
And Roger has never been before the EDC. It was Ben that came in.
That's correct. Zach came in that, yes, yeah. Okay. As I was stating, Roger is very interested in what's going on. He's willing to help us in any way he can. He wants to become a member. He would have been here tonight, but he had a 400-foot deep well on his property and went out, he's having to pull all the pipe because they don't have water taps.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but he is very interested in helping us as a EDC member. I will, in conjunction with this, tell you, if you haven't heard yet, a couple of you may not, Felipe is going to resign because he is moving to Austin after the death of my wife.
Did he submit a?
No, yeah, he sent me a,
I read something about this before the meeting started.
yeah, he sent me, hang on just a second, I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
He
he
pulled it to
submitted.
us all, everybody. does.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
forwarded it to all.
He
of us.
said, I'll be sending you my parting letter, lost my love, and now trying out Austin, Texas with my son's family. So he will be relocating to Austin.
How many years has he been on this committee?
Can you answer that question?
Long time,
Long
long
time.
time.
If I remember right, it was one of the original.
He was one of the originals, yeah.
We need,
So-
we need.
I
to-
think we need to send something.
We need to give him
Plaque or
a
something?
plaque or something. Yes, we do.
Okay. So anyway,
Is his resignation effective immediately?
well, it'll be effective when we get the document, when he sends us something.
Oh,
I
He's
didn't
gonna
know he
send us
lost
something.
his wife, I lost my love, I thought
That's his
maybe he
wife.
lost his love for
No,
EDC.
that's his
He
wife.
lost his
He
wife.
lost
His wife passed
his
away.
wife. I did not
She
know
was in
that.
the hospital for.
She was sick.
And that was one of the reasons he always wanted to leave early.
Yes, because he was her
Because
caretaker.
he was the caregiver.
Yeah.
Okay, wait,
So
how
he's
did we
gonna
get
send
on
us a
that?
letter.
Yes, sir,
officially
those are
from-
resident, yes, sir. Yeah, and when we get that, we can,
Get him.
Are we limited on how many members we can have?
no, we can have up to 7. We're still missing, I was gonna get it all filled when we had Roger come on board, but I'm still looking at one, and I'm talking to 1 or 2 people who own businesses here who may wanna be on board. But anyway, if you look back there, Roger's application is there.
Super nice guy.
He
Super
has
nice.
a lot of management history, he's
Didn't he
got a
have a
lot of
business?
ocean knowledge.
Didn't he have a business in Houston?
Yes, sir, they closed it down and moved over here. He's really invested in this community.
Yes, he is, very much so.
So
Very
I
much
think he
so.
would be, my particular thought process is he would be a great asset.
Me too.
Plus, he also told me that, I've already started giving him information, he is going to build us a no-cost website. And we won't have to worry about hosting fees or anything.
I would investigate the legality of a member of this committee giving anything for free.
He can charge us $1.
Whatever, I'm just.
Yeah.
We'll take care of
I
that.
think
I'm not worried
there
about
might
it.
be a problem.
He's not a member
We'll
yet.
fix it, yeah,
Okay.
we'll address it. Before he gets on, I'll make sure.
Is he, are you wanting us to vote him in tonight?
Well, I'm wanting you to vote to accept his application, then I'm gonna present it to council.
I would motion to accept his application.
And I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay, I will take it to the council and get their, see if I can get their approval. It shouldn't be an issue. Okay, 4-8. I have been in discussion with the new mayor, about several issues. She is in favor of the EDC. She's not going to see anything done with the EDC. I think we are all, the citizens, understanding of the current situation on our infrastructure. Something that hasn't happened overnight, it's happened over the last 70 years. You know, unfortunately, in years past, it wasn't a big deal because they had the steel mill and a lot of revenue coming in. Well, now it's a big deal, and they don't have all that. We're trying to fix that. I told her, I talked to Shane on the phone the other day, who, by the way, he's still having some issues. But anyway, I talked to him and I said, you tell me what would be a good amount that we could we could give the city, not a donation, a zero cost loan. We're not allowed to give them the money to be paid back within 5 years. Okay?
I would be curious
To-
I'm sorry.
To do nothing but buy hot mix or cold mix. My suggestion is the cold mix. To try to alleviate some of the pothole issues around here. Shane and I, she's sending me a list of what his recommendation is, or what his evaluation is of the top 10 areas that need potholes fixed, like 2 days ago. I think it would do two things for us. Number one, it would help the city. Number two, it would show them that we are trying to help, no matter what some people say. We're substantiating that by the fact that the sales tax in this town is starting to go up because of the new businesses we're bringing in and what we're doing. We're wanting to continue that. So she and I talked, and I said, I will be glad to propose that, and we'll see where that goes. I mean, that's all I can do. So, I'm gonna open it up for discussion. Mitch?
I would like to remind all of the committee members that the EDC loaned the city of Lone Star $47,500 to buy the school, and now everybody seems to want to run from that.
Well, and the city knows, and I've talked to Brianna about that, if something ever happens, they sell that school or whatever, that 40-something thousand comes back to us before the city gets a nickel out of it. So,
I have discussed that.
Yes, ma'am.
Just
yeah,
do what?
it's off topic.
What is?
It's not on
Talking
the,
about the school.
Bull corn.
It's
I
not on
don't
the-
agree with that.
it's not on the.
It goes to precedent that we loaned the city $47,500 and we haven't got our money back yet. We gave it away to one individual, and everybody started running away from the fact that the city of Lone Star owes the committee $47,500.
It's still there, the mayor knows it. The mayor knows it.
Okay.
So, anyway, that's the proposal, to do nothing but help fix the potholes. So, throw it out for discussion. Anybody else have any more discussion on it, about that? More? Terry?
No, you know, my name's Mud anyway because I have a street.
That's all right.
Well, what are they gonna, what areas are they gonna fit.
Well, I'm gonna get the list, top 10 areas.
And how long will it hold?
Huh?
How long will it hold in that hole?
You
Without
know-
being another
Okay,
pothole,
hang
being
on.
a,
Let
how
me
long?
explain something to you, and I think you all understand what I'm fixing to say. Whatever's done, you can take $200,000 and invest in the streets in this town, you're still putting lipstick on a pig. Because until you're willing to bite the bullet, tear the streets up, and fix the infrastructure underneath them, every time we have an issue with anything in town, they tear the street up, the infrastructure underneath has to be fixed. So whatever you're estimating, and they had an estimate done a little over 2 years ago, that it was gonna cost $30.1 million to redo all the streets in this town. And I told them at that point in time, I would double that. Because you don't know what you're getting into. I mean, evidence, you know, they tore the street up because they had an issue with the gas line up there by where my house is, okay? The sewer line is 14 feet deep. And it's made out of that paper crap from 70 years ago. So, not complaining, it's still holding together, it'll be fine. There's other areas of town that need to be fixed a lot more than my street did. But I'm just telling you, that's an example of what's fixing to happen. Now, you can come in and get somebody to pave over it, but you're putting lipstick on a pig. Because as soon as you do that, and you have an issue underneath it, you gotta go back and tear exactly what you just got through fixing up before you can replace the street, so you can double that cost.
The real issue is that there are possibly some serious foundation issues
under the
that we
streets.
need to address
Yes,
first
ma'am.
before we go
Yes, ma'am.
full into
Yep.
total repair of
Exactly.
the streets.
But the thing about it is if we get, and here's another thing that people don't understand. If you buy hot mix and you put it down, this is about the only time of year you can do that, because it's hot enough to kind of bond together. The city does not have a roller. We do not have a street repair vehicle to come in here and put it down and put it all, you know, we don't have all that.
Right, and
So
need to pack it.
they're limited to what they can do, which means they take it out, they put it in there, pack it down. The traffic rolling over it in the heat will help seal it down some. But as soon as you get a freeze, as soon as you get a rainstorm, as soon as the weather changes, the streets can start worrying about it, it'd be safe again. But as a mitigation to that, this is all that is a mitigation to that, to assist with that until maybe we can figure out what they want to do.
How does the coal mix differ from? I
The
mean,
coal mix you can put down any time, so they could put it down in December if they had to.
And to fill up the hole.
Yes, but you need to understand, when they get it in there, hot or cold mix, all they do is tamp it down with a shovel, run it over it with a vehicle, and it's there. That doesn't prevent, it's not sealed. You know, if you wanted to do it right, you would have a street repair and put it down and seal it. But, there we go, you're talking about a lot of it.
So along the lines that you just mentioned,
Yes, sir.
who's gonna do this work?
What they'll do is the same thing they've been doing before. They'll buy the mix, bring it in here, and our guys will take it out and put it in the hole, just like they do now. No difference in what they do.
It don't last, you know. They've done
Well,
load
I
short,
know
we
that,
know
but
how
I
many
mean,
times they do
do
that.
we have the labor to do that? We can't get the one down.
Let me put it to you this
Down
way.
here by the liquor store.
Do we have the
Didn't it?
labor, do we have an option of not to do it? I don't think so, Ernie. I think it's in bad enough shape and something has to be done. And this is a mitigating thing, it's not a fix-all, but it will help until they can figure out what else to do.
It'll shut up some squawking people.
Well, I'm not worried about shutting up some
Well,
squawking
we,
people,
the main
I'm
thing
just worried
is
about fixing some of them.
The
I
hot
mean, there's
potholes.
some bad streets.
Yes.
There are some
There's
bad potholes.
There's
some
only,
bad potholes.
in my opinion, there's only two things you're gonna do to fix these streets, and neither one of them are gonna be popular. One of them is gonna be, you're gonna have to bond election to get it fixed. Nobody is gonna vote for that, because it does what? Raises their taxes. The other option is, you raise their taxes. You're not gonna get them to do that either. So it's easier to throw rocks at the glass house and complain than it is to try to figure out a way to fix it. And fixing a 2-block area of one street at a time is not gonna work, in my opinion. So, I'll put it on there, you guys can talk about it, we'll vote on it, I'll carry it to the council, and we'll go from there.
But it's a good faith gesture for us to.
Yeah,
loan
when
the
I
city.
talked to Bree about it, I said, Bree, I can do that, that's not a problem. She said, you don't know how much that would help, just for the street. I said, we don't have a problem doing that.
And it's a good
You know?
faith gesture.
And in the same respect, when I mentioned to her, in fact, don't forget, the city still owes us.
$47,000.
I still have the canceled check for $40,000, so I mean, it's there. So, anyway,
So this is another good faith gesture.
yes. So, it's up to y'all, whatever you wanna do with it, I put it out there.
Where's the 10 areas that you're talking about?
Well,
I've got a list of streets.
you have a list over there, cause Shane told me one of them is Lake Shore down there, it's terrible. I don't.
Let me ask the question, when you bring up the street of Lake Shore. Didn't that contractor that put in all of that
That's
water work
exactly what
was
happened.
supposed to have money in that account to fix Lake Shore?
Mitch, I asked that question, you know what my response to that they gave me is, that wasn't in the contract. All they did is said that, they didn't say they'd come in, cause my question was, they tore it up, why didn't they fix it?
I was told that, or
It's just
I
like-
heard at a council.
I heard that too.
I heard at a council meeting
That they were
that
gonna-
there was money in that account that was to be used to fix the streets that they tore up.
I asked
I
that
did too.
question.
I heard the
Was
same.
just like the other day, when they tore the street up here, I forget where they were working on it up here. Cut it right in half to fix something, I think it was up here where this new house is at on Jefferson. Right there
Oh,
across the
you
street
mean where
from the church.
you mean where the orange cone, was it buried in the middle of the
No,
ground?
that's right up
for
here, I'm talking
6
about,
months?
I'm talking about going down Martin. They had to cut the street in half, I think it was there, I'm not sure exactly which street it was on. And they put it back, and guess what they did? They packed it down, and maybe it was up here by the liquor store, I'm not sure. But anyway, one of the two places, all they did was come in, put dirt in there, pack it down, they didn't fix it.
I saw Cody's dad up there Saturday with his tractor trying to clean that mess up,
I don't know if that
Where?
up here by the liquor store.
I'm just telling you, you know, that's all I can tell you. I've told you before, and I'm not even gonna get into it, because I have my opinions on stuff like that.
Okay, back to.
So, back to
Back
this.
do we wanna do this or not? it- I mean, I know we don't have a lot of money, but I feel like,
If you spend this $20,000 based on this report right here, we're dragging our reserves down to under 200,000. And we've got a lot of projects that we've already passed.
Joseph? What was your comment? I'm sorry.
maybe we could have a compromise, maybe we could give them 10 grand instead of 20 grand.
That's, I'm throwing it out for y'all's
See what
discussion.
happens. I mean, if they get some stuff done and it makes, like, some streets that are almost impassable a lot better. I mean, people don't like driving on, you know, ruining their cars every single day.
Do you have a list here of all the streets they named?
Tina does.
We've got one that's been on that we've had for over a year that we've been trying to get things.
Kathy Street's really bad.
Stevens Street, isn't that?
Well, I would, Tina has the list.
I'm not
And
sure
it
if
has
it's
the
the
top
same
of the
list
street,
that Shane's talking
and
about.
it's not, believe me, my opinion is it ain't where people live, it ain't certain street in town, on this side of town, it's a rampant problem that the city has to sit down as far as the public works department and say, these are the top 10 things we want done. When they do that, that's the list we go with.
But please be aware, the city of Lone Star is not the only one with this problem.
No,
I
you're
agree.
not.
I've talked to Dangerfield and I've talked to New Springs, we are all in the same
Yeah.
boat.
And it's the fact of the matter, we're in a small town, we had a big employer leave, we've had businesses over the years that have left, it's not something we can recover from overnight. We're trying to get there.
I have a question, when Lone Star Steel was big and bringing in lots of money, why wasn't all this infrastructure stuff fixed
I
then?
can't answer that
Because they don't
question now.
pay sales tax,
We
they
didn't,
never
we
have.
didn't, we didn't get taxes from them.
They were
Not
not in
one
the city
penny
limits.
did we ever get from Lone Star.
We didn't get a
Steel.
cent from them.
They're in the county limits, but not
No,
in the
no, no,
city
no, no.
limits. Really not in
The
those
city of Lone Star was that they never pay sales tax.
Well, it's immaterial to this discussion.
Let's just, okay,
So,
let's get back to this.
somebody, tell me what you wanna do, let's go forth or
Well,
whatever.
how much will that buy, $20,000 worth?
Not quite a bit, according to Shane. I talked to him on the phone, he was in the hospital the other day, I called him. He said, I can talk for a minute before they do that, I said, okay, just tell me what, he said, it would help. He said, it's not gonna fix everything, but it's gonna help a little bit. And he said, but remember, it's like we've been saying here, you're putting lipstick on the pig.
Yeah, it won't last,
No.
they pass those holes.
No.
I'm not saying we gotta be
I brought this
first.
subject up about the sales tax in a council meeting. And I was told to keep my mouth shut because we didn't want to rile the big beast.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, I'm not
Nah,
even worried
that
about that
happened.
now, that's immaterial to what we're discussing.
So if 20,000 would buy a lot, 10,000 might do.
We can, depending on what you wanna do, if you wanna say we'll do 10,000, see how that goes, see how they spend that.
Yes.
See how much it helps, and then if we need to later on, we can invest another 10, it's up to y'all, I don't
Okay.
care. This was put on here because of a discussion I had with the mayor and a good faith effort for us to help them out. Other than that, it's up to y'all. Whatever y'all wanna do, we'll do.
I'll make a motion that we start with 10 and see how it goes.
Our mission is to bring business to Lone Star.
Yes, now let me tell you, let me address this with you, okay? If I wanted to tell you that we could spend the money to repave every street in the park, we don't have a problem with that in the world. If I could tell you that we wanna, if Zephyr set 2 blocks off the road and there was a road that had potholes in it going to Zephyr's, we could pave that because it is a road going to a business, okay? As far as going out here on Jefferson, from here down to where it cuts off on Germany, we can't do that because it's not
Residential.
associated with a
Business.
business. It is not something that we are trying to bring business in on Jefferson. You know, you understand what I'm saying? That's the issue right there.
I understand, I
Yeah.
just,
Well, a lot of people around here don't, but that's the mission is to assist business and or bring up community standards so we can have stuff like that. So for those kind of projects, we can spend the money. For a general go up here and slop 2 bales of, hot mix on Burn Street, we can't do that. I mean, we could do it if we like to do that, but not to go fix it, or not, we can't do that, it's not in the mission.
It would be interesting to find out. Cody's the researcher, as a council person, that when Lone Star Steel sold out to US Steel, did that void that sales tax credit?
You said there was never one in the first place, so how could it avoid it?
There was.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm not addressing that issue tonight. If you wanna talk about it, we can bring it up at the next meeting.
Can we just get to?
We just need to get this done and go on.
Please. I've already said,
So I have a motion on the floor for
starting at
$10,000.
10. Yes.
I'll have a motion to approve $10,000 and see what that does.
I said
Okay, so
that.
you're gonna second her motion, depending on what happens, we can come back for more later if we
Yeah,
need to.
I already said that.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second to propose zero cost loan to the city of Lone Star for $10,000 to be used exclusively for streets. Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I vote no.
Okay. No, Mitch?
Yes.
Okay. So motion carries 4-1.
That will still have to be approved by the city council.
Yes, ma'am, I'll take that to the council. Okay. 4-9, review discussion possible actions to allocate up to $2,000 for the purchase of, its materials for the ballpark, bases, plat, drags, plug, pitcher's plate, at City Park. I will tell you this right now, I'm in the process of trying to offset that sum with donations. I have somebody who is in the process of making us a drag, so that'll come off that list and won't cost us anything. So some of this stuff may get donated, but I would rather go ahead and get an allocated amount, so we know maximum expenditure and try to spend under that as we do every time we allocate something. Because in the next 14 days, the ballpark will be ready.
I make a motion that we approve the expenditure of not more than 2,000 for the items listed in 4-9.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 5,
I make a motion to adjourn.
okay, I have a motion, we adjourn second?
Will you guys look at these letters so I can get them in the mail?
Yes, we will look those letters.
Okay.
We'll do that before we adjourn.
Do you want me just to read it to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Would that be good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, the one to Bowie Cass says, Dear Bowie Cass Electric Cooperative, the Lone Star Economic Development Corporation would like to thank you so much for helping us to get our baseball field improvements started. Our improvement plans for the baseball fields hinged on removing the old, non-working and outdated lighting. The quotes to have outside resources do the job were crippling to our limited budget. Your assistance saved the day so we can get to work making the fields a place where our kids and their families can enjoy the American pastime. Our mission is to bring back the life that the old fields once had for generations to come. Companies like Bowie Cass who care about the people they serve are what makes East Texas the best place to live. Sincerely, Joseph Kashik on behalf of Economic Development Committee.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Good.
Then the one to Amy, you gotta plug your ears.
Go to sleep.
Or just take a nap.
And Dear A&E Machine Shop, the Lone Star Economic Development Corporation would like to thank you so much for helping us to get the swimming area at the city park refurbished. Your donation of time, materials, and American craftsmanship is so greatly appreciated. Having 2 new ladders is going to make it much safer and functional for our swimmers and non-swimmers especially. Our mission at the park is to give families a safe place to picnic and bring back the joy of summertime swimming in Lone Star. Companies like A&E Machine Shop who care about the people they serve are what makes East Texas the best place to live. Sincerely.
Thank you.
Very
Sounds like a
good.
winner to me. You make
You
questions,
do
comments?
good work, Josie.
I did a little cut and paste, but go there.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. I do need you guys to get me a picture of yourself. That can go on the website, please.